Hello, everybody, and welcome to ZoomZoomers for the edition on the 18th of May 2020, still during lockdown. I'm just going to head over to Zoom now and let people in. Hopefully, there'll be no swearing or anything like that. As soon as they are live, hopefully they should know that they're live. So no swearing or anything like that. I'm just going to let people in now. There won't be everybody to begin with, but we'll introduce people as they come in. And I can see Richard, I can see Craig, I can see Jonty, Neil, Lewis, Alan, and Toby there as well.
Hello.
So just say hello to everybody.
Hello.
Are you all right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Excellent, excellent.
Still breathing.
Sorry, what was that?
Still breathing.
Alan's not in his usual place. I think he's been captured by some sort.
No.
It's like a cry for help. Is there some sort of secret code word you're going to use? Or?
Yeah, something like that. More than likely, I was bored of sitting. That would have been, I've spent more than 8 hours sitting at my desk today. So
okay.
I thought I'll do it from the garage because it worked when I was speaking to Ian during the week. So the weekend.
Yes. So it's a bit of context there. So this is actually an actual working garage that you use for tinkering and such, or?
It's mostly a mess, but yes,
Right.
yes, it is. I mean, there's I can reach out here and touch an engine on a stand, and there's like all my tools and stuff around here. So yeah,
proper petrol head points there for being able to reach out and touch bits of car.
Yeah, more of a petrol head if the engine was actually working and not knackered, of course.
Okay, so it's an ornamental one.
Yes, that's it.
What I will say though, Toby obviously hasn't got his camera on. But Toby, if you're there,
hello.
If you'd like to pop that on and we can see your lovely face.
Check this out.
Check this out.
Hey up.
Yeah, look at that. You're full of sponsors.
A little bit of a rebrand, yeah. There.
Yeah, looking good.
Great though. I've got like I haven't got a green screen behind me, so it's a little bit shaky. I might take it off in a little while.
It looks like, so what are these sponsors behind you? Do you want to talk us through them? I don't know if you can see them clearly yourself, but
yeah, so I've got SVG Motorsport is the team that I race for. Purple Tash on the top right, they're one of my new sponsors that have just designed all of this and my branding and all the marketing campaign that I've just launched. Southeastern High Speed is one of my sponsors and also my employer, so we've got a great partnership with them. Come down to Momentum Social. They're creating loads of digital content for me to share on YouTube and making some awesome stuff, which I can't wait to share with you guys.
Yeah.
Fertility Network UK is my role of an ambassador for the charity to raise awareness for male infertility and fertility itself. New Street Designs, another sponsor of mine, who's my fiance's business, which is great. Racing Mentor with Jess. I see Jess down in the corner there. Hey, Premier Contract Supplies is another sponsor of mine. He's the guy that kind of got me into racing and gave me the opportunity to race in the first place, which is absolutely fantastic. And then the last one at the bottom is Coombe Valley MOT Centre, and he owns a business down near me as an MOT centre, and I work with him to kind of generate business. So yeah, there's a list of people there, and it's all cool.
A great list. I was going to say, I hope some of them are tuning in, but of course Jess definitely is because we can see her. So I hope that some of the others either are watching along live, perhaps they could even ask a question, because we're obviously going live out on YouTube apparently, if that's working. And if not, then they can watch it back. But it's been a busy week for you, isn't it, Toby?
It's been mad. Yeah. There's you could say it's been relentless, but in such a good way that I'm absolutely buzzing about it. So yeah.
Excellent. And you've got obviously on Friday there was the launch of your new logo and that kind of thing. Oh no, that happened.
Yeah, so Friday was the launch of my branding logo. I can actually show the video if you guys want to see it.
I'd love to.
Let's just have 1 second, guys. How does this
We're
work?
getting advanced these days, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are. Look at this. Ready? Right. I don't know how it's going to look. I might have to dart to a side, but if you right, let's see how this is going to work. Ready? Go. Is this going to work?
I don't think it's going to work. Is it going to work?
It will do. It will do. I've got a way to do it. Hold on. Karen talking while I'm just
No, we're all just looking at you. Just put you on the spot.
It's fine, mate. Yeah.
As long as you can drive a racing car, you're all right.
Yeah. That's it. Here we go. I think I've got it. I've got it. Here we go.
Oh.
Get this out. There's music that goes with this, so it's a little bit better with music. But
nice.
this launched my YouTube channel, and this is my intro video. And here's the logo reveal. This is it.
Excellent. I think we've all got logo envy right now. And
it looks very Tron Legacy, but in a good way.
Yeah, it is actually.
You know,
isn't it?
like
Yeah.
you know, a nightclub in Tron next to Michael Sheeney. There's a sort of shades of that.
Is that the brief that you gave Purple Tash? Just I want to be like a nightclub in Tron.
Yeah, why not? I think they delivered pretty well.
Sorry, I know that was a bit random, but I just with the lighting, that's what I thought. But it looks great.
It does look fantastic. But actually leads me on to, because obviously you and Jess had Jess hosted a webinar during the week and included you as a bit of an example of how she works and how it can help other race drivers. And I nipped in there. I was having to nip in and out. My dog was poorly, but I managed to catch a lot of it. And there were loads of people in there, weren't there, Jess? It was just like, there's such an appetite for people like Toby to try and get sponsors and get noticed and learn some tips from people that are doing it well.
Yeah, absolutely. I set like a really low goal, and Toby's like, no, we can get 50 people. I was like, nah, I think that might be a bit many. We had 100 people sign up in the end, and I think it was about 30 of those came along live. Yeah. And then loads of people have watched the replay. But yeah, I think people just, obviously it's all good and well me saying you should do this to get sponsorship and work hard and all of this kind of stuff, but they want to hear from people like Toby in terms of, you know, this is what it looks like when you do it properly. So it was a really good experience. I think people have learnt a lot of stuff, and you know, we've managed to introduce new people to Toby, new people to Racing Mentor as well, and I think everyone learned a lot as well.
Yeah, it's great to see questions coming in, and ones that Toby had the answer to, because he's been through that and he's, you know, acting as a bit of an inspiration. But it was fantastic that it all just came down. Well, there's a lot of things to it, but every other word was hard work. Just hard work. Just keep at it. Absolutely, don't be lazy. Yeah. Don't miss any opportunity. Just like, you've just got to be on it. And it's those that work hardest that get there in the end. So it's good to see a lot of people taking that on board, and hopefully we'll see some of those have a bit of success as well. We might as well go around and introduce ourselves, as we often do for people that are joining us for the first time. So on my screen, I've got Richard in the top left. So Richard, could you let us know your name and your Twitter handle, please?
Yep, I'm Rich Gooding. On Twitter, I'm richgooding.com, and I'm a freelance merchant writer and graphic designer.
Excellent. And Craig, just as you take a swig of drink.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm Craig. I'm at Craig_Woollard, and I do all sorts of things. At the moment, I'm drinking beer, which is the most important thing at the moment.
Okay. Fair enough. Jonty.
Jonty Beard. I'm at Jonty Corner on Twitter. I will find me.
I think I'm losing the audio from Jonty there. Was it just mine, or did people?
No, I was losing too.
Oh. Yeah.
I can't hear him either.
Okay, Jonty, do you want to have another go? No, your mic's right up at your face.
Yeah, any better?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Yeah, I'm Jonty Beard at Jonty's_corner, and you'll just find me on Twitter talking far too much motorsport. Usually, anything, to be honest, as long as it's got an engine.
Fair enough. Lewis.
My name's Lewis Kingston. I'm a freelance motoring journalist, and my Twitter handle is @TheseOldCars.
Thank you. Alan.
Hi, I'm Alan Bradley. I'm a presenter of the Motoring Podcast. You'll find me on Twitter at AJP Bradley, Bradley.
Thanks, Chris.
Hi, my name is Christopher Sharp. On Twitter, I'm at ChristopherPBS, and I'm an LGBT motorsport activist and political journalist.
Excellent, thank you. Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben Hodges. My Twitter handle is @BenSVHodges, and I am deputy editor for Car Buyer and occasional freelancer.
Excellent, thank you. Now, Ian, I see that maybe your wife's had a go on Zoom, because we've got you written down as Taka. So
yeah, that's Taz. I think her. Hey, can you hear me loud? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Woo woo! We're winning. Taz's laptop works better than mine. So, yes. I'm Ian Cook from Popman Colour. I'm an artist who normally paints with radio control cars, but at the moment I am drawing continuous car drawings on Instagram and social media.
Excellent. LA, your name and your Twitter handle, please.
Yeah, LA or Louisa, whichever. So it's @1_LA, and I guess I'm here on behalf of Inside F2. as well as myself, of course. So excited it's a platform for Formula 2.
Thank you. Neil.
Hi, I'm Neil Briscoe, freelance motoring journalist, mostly writing for the Irish Times and CompleteCar.ie, and you can find me on Twitter at Neil M. Briscoe.
Thank you. And I know we've already spoken to Jess and Toby, but Jess, if you'd like to let us know your Twitter handle.
Yeah, I'm at JetLBomb on Twitter, and I'm a freelance motoring journalist and, as you've heard, the racing mentor.
Lovely. Not Jet Lubomb this time around, then Jet L-Bomb again.
I don't know what's less confusing.
Just search for Jess Shanahan and you'll find it. And Toby, your Twitter handle as well, please.
Yeah, my Twitter handle is at Toby_Trice, and I'm a racing driver on a campaign to raise awareness for fertility.
Excellent. Thanks for that. We'll have a special guest joining during the Zoom as well, and we'll also have the voice, hopefully, if the sound works, of Ray Briscoe popping up towards the end. But we have I've seen the thing that's been produced by Neil, and it's going to be a bit of a treat for us all. And before we do that, though, Ian, you kind of mentioned that you've been doing these continuous cars, and I know you're getting on quite well with that now, because I actually took part in one of the Instagram live sessions during the week, as a few others did. Neil, I think you were on the same day as me, and this all kicked off obviously when Toby did it to begin with. How's all that going? How's that all going then?
Yeah, it's going really well. It's really exciting. And it's just kind of getting the challenge. I don't know if who else can I get.
So you've got down to the Drakes now, haven't you? You've got I could do Neil.
I really want a balance. I really want a balance of drivers and journalist drivers, influencers, like people who are all in this industry. We're all in the same industry, but we all have a different view of the industry. If that makes sense. And that's what I find really fascinating, is that you can speak to commentators, you can speak to like people like yourselves, and you've all got different stories about how you got into cars. We're all binded by this vehicle industry, whether it's motorsport or cars. And I'm just really enjoying hearing the histories and finding out what I can do. And so that's the latest one. There's the Ford WRC with helicopter. There's very important helicopter filming it as well. So that was done with the commentator of WRC, and she does all the commentary for that, which is really exciting. But yeah, so it's just really going through, like, talk to different people, and it's exciting. But now, and we're so close to getting the book, like we're 81%, 82% now.
Is there a deadline for this? Because I think on the crowdfunder there is a date that you have to hit
8
it by.
days. Yeah,
8 days.
Yeah, so yeah, but it's really exciting when people do like buy it, because it gets more real. So when we were like around about 30%, it was kind of like, oh, is this gonna work? And then it went up to 50%, and now it's 80%. I'm like, oh, okay, right. So it's really good. So I've been having some chats with different people who self-published and published, and finding out what the best route is into that, really. So that's going to be the next stages, because I can't see much motorsport happening anytime before September, October, and I certainly don't think there's going to be any kind of entertainment element to it, which is what I'm classed as. I'm the entertainment part of F1, touring car, etc. So if it is behind closed doors, then obviously that's where I make money. So I need to see how else I can do that. But so it's exciting. I'm going to take the artworks off to the printers this week. Now that it's kind of like you can travel around a little bit more, so I just need to get the artworks over to the printers, so he can scan them, and we'll go from there. But I think we're pretty fully booked. Up till Sunday now, 6 people a day from midday through till 10 o'clock at night. And just arrange people, really. So if you want to get involved, let me know. Like I'm always excited to talk to more people.
So you've got enough cars now to fill the book then? Because I guess there's a definite number of pages that you need to fill.
Well, it was always based on the amount of time, like lockdown time. It was always based on like when I would be access to my studio. The studio is likely to be June time, beginning of June. So we've got until the end of May. And because I've now got into this routine of doing it, I'd like to talk to as many people, and also there's certain cars that need to be in that book as well. So it's got classic stuff, and there's certain ones I'm like, right, I need Golf GTI Mark 1, and there's certain ones that I'm excited to do. But also, like hopefully we've got Andy Prio,
Yeah.
And towards the end of this week, we've got some more touring car drivers. But really, it's down to Toby. Like Toby kicked it all off. Like the first person I spoke to, and then since then, a lot of the drivers have really enjoyed it. I spoke to Jess about it as well. Neil, got Ben coming up because his Volvo is a full ex-police car, so we didn't his car is a police car on Thursday. So so I haven't talked to you yet. I will tie you down to try and do a thing at tail end of this week into next week.
Excellent. Yeah, I think with Toby, then that means that he was first and Prio was way behind, way down the field.
Well, so I think Toby Trice MBE definitely needs to. That's the next thing, isn't it?
I'll take that. I mean, that's probably the only time I'll be ahead of Frelo.
Now we tried to put you on the spot last week again, but you weren't there. So when we did the quickfire round, we asked the 12th question was, would you draw Chris's 2016 Astra? So I kind of mentioned this on the call on the Instagram live, and how do you feel about perhaps giving him a quick sketch?
I kind of already messaged him with another picture, which wasn't my Astra.
Right.
Yeah, so we're going to do. It's tomorrow, isn't it? My schedule's on my laptop, but we're
tomorrow midday. It's a. I'll be honest. It's a photo which, when you initially describe it, sounds a bit ordinary, but there's a few good stories behind it. It's me competing in the British University Karting Championship, but I'm wearing my dad's 1970s karting overalls.
Right.
And
okay.
Which one day I did put up a photo of that, and then the guy who produced them said, "I think I recognise those." And so they're definitely not flameproof anymore. Flame retardants.
Actually, talking of like weird and wonderful things, Jonty. Now, we normally have a bit of a show and tell, but rather than just bring along something and tell us about it, you're going to try and make us guess what this is. Is that right?
Yeah, well, you asked if anyone had a mystery item.
Let's have a look. Okay. Is there a hole in the bottom? No. Any ideas, guys?
Well, I suppose technically that would be the bottom.
Right, okay. Anyone got a clue what this might be?
Anyone's been in a sort of modern top flight motorsport factory for a visit, they might have a clue.
I wish.
Nine. No.
No. Are you supposed to have it, Jonty, or did you just grab it?
It was a slight excess on an order.
Oh,
is it a sample jug for drug testing drivers after a race?
I certainly wouldn't be handling it if it was.
I went in a Chinook once and they had one of those just in case you got caught short.
Yeah, well, it's just supposed to be that way up, but it makes a nice vase.
Right. We're going to need a few clues for this one then, Jonty. What kind of clues could you give us?
1 sec. I know it's unlikely, but you may have seen something like that to go with it.
Is it part of a? I was about to say part of a trophy, but then again, no, obviously not.
Is it to do with weighing? Weighing something?
No, manufacturing.
Oh, right, okay. Any of the wiser?
Is it something to do with making sure stuff's the right height?
It's very,
things?
very
So
precise.
it's
Part of a scale? No.
Nope. This is
to do with some kind of like pouring of chemicals or part like molding or something like that?
Yeah, along those lines.
That's the best I can do.
I think we're going to have to be put out by misery, Jonty. What have we got there?
Is it for spinning carbon fibre strands around into a shape?
No, but I suppose it could actually be used as a threader for that. No, this is all for 3D printing.
Oh.
Very modern top end, known as additive manufacturing. That's the substrate that if anyone's done any 3D printing of their own on plastic, it's exactly the same, except that on top of the machine will hold titanium, aluminium, steel, powder, and it will be 3D printed. out of titanium. The mounting points for the halos are made that way.
Oh, I see. Oh, fair enough. Has that one been used? Did you say it was just a surplus on an order?
It was a surplus one on an order.
Right.
They came as free issue parts. That one, as far as I'm aware, should have gone to Williams.
Oh, right.
But didn't.
They didn't get that, and they've not been as competitive as they were 10 years ago. Maybe they should have it back.
And I heard a rumour from my boss at the time where those came from, that the last Abu Dhabi race Bottas had with Williams, where he had to retire, was because their machine had gone down at the track and they couldn't print a spare suspension part overnight. So they had to withdraw him on safety reasons because they didn't think the one they had would last.
Oh, blimey. And
But that never got out on the public media side. This was all just companies complaining, saying, you cost us this much money.
Oh my God!
Yes.
So you've actually had one sat in your house at that very moment, or have you come across it since then?
This is for the process of
right.
the actual printing. It's not an actual car part, unfortunately.
Oh no, of course.
But I did make it. So
you did make it.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Chris, you're looking very relaxed there.
In a more relaxed part of the room this time around, I was like, actually, I can lean back and still be heard.
You can.
This is the way I do like my part-time job, and this is the right part of the sofa bed.
Oh, okay. Fair
I was
enough.
going to say there's nobody else in bed this week apart from me, but I guess you kind of are.
Yeah, Chris is in bed. We don't know if Toby is. Are you in bed as
I'll
well?
show you the rest.
No.
I'll show you the rest of the room if you like.
Toilet.
This is sort of like where
I don't know where Alan is, but Alan, are you in your shed or something? Well, in your man cave?
Yeah, I'm in my garage.
Oh.
It's a change of scenery. I've spent hours at my desk today, so I thought I'd do it from here.
I'm not in my usual space because my usual space has been taken over for the purpose of blanket making.
Blanket making. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you know your place. So are we actually going to see Ray at any point, do you think, or are we just going to hear his voice?
Well, the thing that I sent you was originally a full video and performance against backdrop and everything, and then at the last minute he decided he was feeling a bit shy and didn't want to actually appear on screen, so I edited him out except for his voice.
No worries. Well, we'll do that when we've got Jonny Edge here. But before we do that, have you guys brought along a red and a green thing again this week?
Oh, waitress bag, if that helps. I know it's very middle class, but
Alan doesn't know what
I'll
green
be right
is.
back.
I got out here, I was all comfy, and then I discovered that I couldn't find green tape. So I do have a green beer can and a red piece of tape.
That's fine. Okay. We'll try some quick fire questions there. So the idea here is that if you agree with the statement, then hold up a green.
Yes, that's right.
If you disagree, then hold up a red. I think some of you guys might not have been here last time. Jonty, Ian.
No, I wasn't.
For example.
I wasn't.
Who was that? Jess wasn't. No.
Yeah.
Some of them are about cars and some of them aren't. But we'll go through them and just see what the general consensus is from the ZoomZoomers for each one of these. So the first one, very controversial, this one. Dogs are better than cats. What have we got? We've definitely got a split there. Toby, whose dogs made an appearance on the webinar the other day in the background.
They did. They made several dogs howl, I think.
They did. They set off other dogs, didn't they? Okay. So there's a nice split decision, but it's kind of what we were hoping for with that one. The next question. Ferrari road cars should be red. Ooh.
Hang on. Which colour here is the one?
Actually, that's a good point.
I'm a bit torn.
Wait.
I'm a bit torn.
I think they look good in blue.
I'm kind of going yellow.
I like the blue.
No, they look good in blue because John Surtees won his championship in a blue and white Ferrari in 1964.
He did. What's on?
That's a good endorsement for blue Ferraris. Okay, next question. Now, I like these questions because Toby replies like instantly, and then there's a good few seconds where everyone's going, "Oh, I'm not sure," but Toby's just like that.
I'm just in.
Okay, next one then. See if Toby can answer this straight away. He's ready now. He wants to win.
It's like sat at the lights at the start line. That's what
yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Right. The next question. The next statement. You are a good passenger.
I bring the music.
No, yeah, I'm better than I'm betting better than some of my family.
Right.
It depends on the driver.
I don't press a shadow brake pedal.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, sometimes you have to grab the side of your seat. Okay.
I've made two people vomit while driving.
I've had someone. I was on track at an airfield once, and the lady that I was taking for a passenger ride vomited into her helmet. I didn't realise that she was time out. So I pulled over to the side of the track and just said, and she took the helmet off. I still didn't realise that she'd vomited in it. And I said, you have to have your helmet back on, otherwise I can't go back on the track to get back to the pits. So she reluctantly put the helmet on, and I didn't realise until I got to the pits. And she got out of the car, and there was vomit down the side of the car. So she was not a good passenger. Next question or statement: modern cars are too big.
I don't know.
I was really thinking about this.
I don't know. I don't know how
I don't know why people disagree. I mean, I can see why.
Yeah, Lewis is there all day now.
I'm torn. I don't know.
No, you're just going to abstain.
No, they're too small. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, okay. Okay, next one. Bernie Ecclestone was good for F1.
It depends, short or long term.
The statement is that many words. I'm not going to say short or long term. Bernie was good for F1, so only Richard, I think, has got the red out for that one.
But I don't know about F1, so.
Yeah, you've still done better than me in the quiz for the last 2 weeks. So.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Next one. You have owned a car with a V8, V10, or V12 engine. Oh, Lewis has got one. I think Lewis might. Oh, LA is like, I'm not so sure.
I don't actually know.
Did you own that Pontiac Trans Am, or was that someone else's?
Oh yeah. Well, kind of. I didn't buy it, but it had my name on it.
Probably.
Please stop saying Trans Am. It was a Firebird.
Oh, okay.
Can you add V-twin into that as well?
V-twin. Oh, go on then. Let's have V-twin in it as well.
There we are.
Good. So this is the car that Callum took you out. Took you for a ride around Cov Ring Road in. Is that the one?
Yeah, my Morgan. Yeah. The Morgan 3 V-twin. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, next one. Not very much car ones from now on. Hot breakfasts are better than cold. Toby straight in again.
No, nothing quite like a good bottle of fruit and fibre with cold milk in the morning sometimes just to wake you up.
What are you on about?
Said no one ever.
No one ever. Well, that's just me.
Okay, next question. Actually, Craig, have you got a car at the moment?
No.
No.
I live in London. It's not going to happen.
Okay, well, don't worry about this one. I know what brand of tyres is on my car at the moment. Chris and LA, not so sure.
Chris, I'm worried.
No, like one of them it went for its service recently, and I was just like, I mean, yeah, I know there are tyres on it. They're all pumped up. It's fine.
It's really all that matters.
Okay, this one's.
Yeah, mine are the cheapest ones. That's what I've got on my car.
Just get through road legal.
I'm trying to sell my car, so like cheaper the better. As long as they stay up, until I sell it.
Fair enough. Okay, this one's probably more for you, Craig. Okay, you can identify a British racetrack from looking at a photo.
There is only one that I can do that with, really.
Okay, I mean, the British racetracks do go from Silverstone down to some bloke's garden, I suppose, that, you know, some of them are a bit more obscure. But, yeah, a few of you fancy your chances. That may have to be a quiz one day, then. We'll see.
Oh, yes. Photo of Granston Lodge.
I actually tried that for a YouTube video once, but never published it because I got every single one wrong.
Did you really?
Actually, that was with outlines, though, rather than actual photos. I think I might be better at photos, but outlines, no, every single one was wrong.
Toby's gone behind him.
I reckon Ian. Yeah, Toby's got Bransby. I don't.
Yeah.
Ian, you'd probably recognise the paddock area or just outside.
The trade area, absolutely. Any trade area. Brands Hatch, just windy. Any marquees left, you're lucky. That's what I'd say. So.
Okay, next one. You know how a catalytic converter works? Oh, some people have to really think this.
No, it does, but I couldn't tell you how it works.
No, it does, but do you know how? Yeah. Hey, Chris, no. Okay. Next one.
No, I do know.
You do know.
I think so. Whether or not it's right, I think I know.
Yeah. Okay, you always use indicators even if nobody is around.
Toby.
Come on, people. Do the right thing.
The way I look at it, if no one's around, I don't.
I can't not. It feels dirty.
There might be someone literally. No, there might be an Audi driver storming up behind you.
Maybe.
Okay, the final one for today. Ford is better than Vauxhall.
100%.
Poor Vauxhall.
Brand loyalty here.
Neil's not decided. Oh, come on, Neil.
He doesn't have Vauxhall. He's only got Opel.
on the one, yeah, but it's the same. On the one hand, Capri. On the other hand, Manta. Come on.
Okay.
Is that including Chevette? Is that including Chevette?
Then just name every other great hot hat.
All Vauxhalls here. Anything.
Rocket powered Chevette.
Yeah.
Rocket powered Chevettes. Yeah. Okay. Well, before we carry on, then I'm going to let the guest in. So some of you may know Jonny. So this is Jonny Edge. I'm just going to let him in. Hopefully he'll join. Okay. Whether he's been sat there for a little while, so hopefully he hasn't gone for some food or the toilet or anything.
Cheap beer.
Jonny.
Hey, Jonny.
Guten Abend.
This is very Eurovision. Where are you right now, Jonny?
I am in North Bohemia, in the city of Liberec.
Was that sorry?
North Bohemia in the Czech Republic.
Oh, I see. Wow. And you're teaching Czech people English, is that correct?
Yeah, and mostly, spookily, in the automotive industry as well. So
right. You seem to always find your way there, don't you?
Yeah, I do somehow. I've had definitely had some sort of tie to this place somehow. That's for sure.
Okay, do you want to just let people know? Well, obviously your name's Jonny Edge. We've got that written there. But if you want to let people know your Twitter handle for a start, and then how you're kind of in the automotive world.
Yeah, so my Twitter handle, first off, is @TheJonnyEdge. I am a writer. I've done podcasting as well, and I've done some video presenting as well. I just love cars. Simple, really, isn't it? If you love cars, you try and get involved with it. And I've been lucky enough to do that. So that's pretty much me.
Yeah, we've had a few adventures together, haven't we? From windy airfields in Cornwall to snow-covered mountains in Wales, and it's been a bit of an adventure over the years. So I suppose out in the Czech Republic, you're not able to really do any kind of writing about cars or anything like that, are you? Or
no, not really, not at the moment. It's something that I've been looking into, but it's not top of my list at the moment of things to do. That's for sure. I'm enjoying teaching, and I'm enjoying contributing occasionally to things back in the UK, but it's nice not being fully immersed in it for a bit, I think. So I'm now that I've got one foot out, I can kind of dip my toe back in when I sort of feel like it, which is a kind of luxury to have, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, and over the years, then you've driven a few weird and wonderful vehicles on some sort of major road trips, and you seem to have no qualms of going up to the boss of a big company and just say, "I want to take your car across Europe." I think you might have been the first person to drive a Micra in Bosnia or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I kind of operate on the philosophy that if you don't ask, you just don't get.
Yeah.
You just need to have a go, I think, and I think that applies to anything in life as well. Just ask the question. You never know what the answer is going to be, and I've certainly asked a lot of questions. Some of them have been positive, and some of them have been negative in terms of responses.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you've driven your Rolls Royce up to Scotland. Did you drive that one across Europe, or was that just going up to Scotland?
Just to Scotland, but that was one of my favourite trips for sure. To be able to drive a Rolls Royce to Scotland and visit whiskey distilleries. I mean,
that was it. Yeah.
Oh, what can you say? It was amazing.
what's it like to drive a Rolls Royce through? Is it different from driving a big Audi and a big Merc and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I'd say it is different, definitely. It's hard to know where to start with a Rolls Royce, but I always start with the same point for anyone who's not driven one before, which is the first thing that strikes you is the thickness of the carpet. You get in and you don't see the top of your foot anymore, and you're thinking, oh, this is liquid or something? What's going on? And yeah, it makes you want to take your shoes off when you get in. It's just an incredible thing to drive, and like they're so big and like they really do stand out, but they're so simple to drive as well. It's so easy and relaxing. Everything is like optimal easiness, basically.
And on the other side of the automotive spectrum, you've got things like Radicals, which you've been in, and Caterhams. We've done a few things with Caterham together. And the last time I think I actually saw you was when you abandoned one of Caterham's own cars somewhere in Wales and just got someone to pick you up. And then I got Caterham on the phone saying, "Is Johnny's car in Newport Pagnell?" And I went, "No, it's in Newport." And I don't think I've seen you since then. So that was quite an adventure. That car basically killed you, didn't it? That 620.
Yeah, that car. I've had 3 serious back injuries in my life, and the Caterham 620 basically finished my back off on one of those on that trip we did, and I ended up turning it into a bathtub in South Wales. So
yeah, because we couldn't get the roof back on, and it was during the beast from the east. Yeah. Well, you've joined us at a good time because I think you're quite excited about doing Trackday own scrap, which is something that we started last week. A few people that are on the call today didn't get a chance to have a go because they weren't about. So I believe Jonty, Ian, Jonny, obviously, and Jess didn't get a chance to do Trackday own scrap last week. So I'll have a go. I was hoping that Tom was going to appear at some point, but I think he might have some issues getting in. LA, have you been chatting to Tom about finding his way in?
Yeah, he's not sure if it's a Zoom link or he's not sure if it's his internet. So I've told him to keep trying, but he's having an attempt. So I'm not sure if there's a different way of codes and passwords as well to try and get him in. But anyway.
Yeah, it's usually just click on the link and follow the instructions. I'm not really sure what else, whatever advice I can offer him. But what I'll do then, for the time being, I'm going to start the Trackday own and scrap for those guys. So if you haven't seen it last week, I'm going to be spinning a wheel. The wheel will then bring up 3 cars. One of them you've got to scrap, one of them you can own, and the other one you can just take on a track day. So I'll just find the right thing. Let me know if this pops up. Hopefully you'll see a wheel in a moment.
If you've not seen this, it's a work of the programmer's art.
Just this is full on
sharing, but
full on Nicholas Parsons. This
yes.
Yeah. Can any of you see a wheel yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
There we go. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, there's definitely a delay on this. So when I spin it, I'll leave it a few seconds before I say anything. Okay, so first of all then, Jonty, are you there at the moment? Do you want to have a go at this first of all?
Yeah, go on.
Cool. I'm going to spin it 3 times then, and then we'll get 3 cars for you. So the ones that we had last week, I've put back in there again. So some of the ones from last week may reappear, but there were some that we didn't use last year. They may come up as well. So the first car for you to consider is, there you go, the little Renault Sport Clio V6. Your next car is a Lotus Carlton.
Ooh.
And your third and final car is Ford Racing Puma. Which of those would you like to scrap, and which one would you track day? Which one will you own?
I'd probably track day the Clio, own the Carlton, and scrap the Puma.
Okey-dokey. Fair enough. It's quite a tricky one, that one, isn't it? Because you're going to end up like scrapping something that's fairly good, but I suppose of those 3, probably the Ford you're going to miss the least. So
It's
you're going to
always
keep
be
Lotus
owning the
Carlton.
Always.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, fair
sure.
enough. Cool. Thanks for that, Jonty. Ian, you're up next. Spin it. I'm not sure if Ian's there. I've got a bit of a delay on my screen, so hopefully he is there.
Right.
Oh, one of our favourites from last week. Ian, can you see what you've got there? You've got the MG X Power SV.
Mm-hmm.
What a beaut. That's your first car. Second car. You've got the TVR Cigaris. And your third car. The Ferrari 288 GTO.
288 GTO, not the 250 GTO, but just 288.
No.
Oh, it's pretty. It's pretty. The MG, well, that was kind of Italian car, but it was built by Brummies and not very good and didn't really end. I probably wouldn't keep the MG. Track the. What was the other option? Yeah, so we had the Ferrari. What was the other option? Sorry,
TVR Cigaris, I think it was.
Oh, Cigaris, yes. A friend of mine's got an LS9 engine in a Cigaris, and it's very silly. Mate, lots of Trackday, track the TVR, and keep the Ferrari.
Fantastic. I think they're all good choices. I don't think there's going to be much argument with that. Okay, Jess, your turn. You're up next. Are you all right for
Okay.
that? You there? Yep, cool. Okay, your first
I'm ready.
car, Jess. You ready? Okay, so we've got a 911. It's a 993 GT2. Good start. Solid start. Your second car. You have a Ford Escort Cosworth. And your third car, Jess. Is it going to go? You have the Renault Sport Spider.
Oh, God.
Well, own the 911 because I would buy one anyway.
Yeah.
Track the Escort and sadly scrap the Renault.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thanks for that, Jess. And then I believe Jonny Edge, if you're up, fancy this?
So nervous.
Really?
Yeah, so much pressure
this
on
stuff,
me.
isn't it? All right, it's car. Don't mess this up.
I'll try not to.
Okay, you've got the Lancer Evo 6 Tommy Mackinnon. Probably going to hurt your back. The second car. You've got a Cayman GT4. And your third car. Oh, is it going to tip into? You've got the Ford Supervan 3.
Okay. Okay. Well, the van is going straight to scrap.
Right. Okay.
I'm not having the van. I'm not a believer in that. It's interesting, but it's not for me. I'll take the Mackinnon on track, especially if it's a little bit gravelly, and I'll keep the Cayman GT4 because that's just fantastic.
Yeah, fair enough. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Jonny. Now, we were hoping that Tom was going to be here to have his go because he didn't have a chance. So one last go. LA, is he about at the moment?
I don't know why you're on a big screen. Maybe it's you've done that thing there. Yeah, you've done that thing. Yeah. No, he gave me a thumbs up for me telling him to keep trying, but he's not here.
He's not here. No, not to worry. Not to worry. Scrap the Mackinnon, Jonny. Did you see that from Neil, Jonny?
No, I like the Mackinnon. It's never getting scrapped. That's a lovely car.
Scrap the Mackinnon, track the Supervan, keep the other one. It's the obvious choice.
I agree.
You got to keep the van. Keep the van because we can make it into a little motorhome, right?
I'm with LA. You know how I feel about vans. I'd keep the van.
Wow.
I feel like I'm going to get slaughtered for this choice, but yeah, it is what it is. fairy place and everything.
If you had those 3 vehicles sat in front of you, you're not going to go, cool, I really fancy owning that Transit. That's probably not even any use as a van. So
It's got an A220 underneath it.
yeah. Okay, thanks guys for that. So we'll try that again next week, but I'll have different vehicles in it next week. So we'll have another round of that. But now, I think since we're all here, as many as we're going to get in today, shall we give this a go with the 5-question quiz, Neil? So the way that this is set out, there'll be, Ray will ask a question, and then before starting the next question, he'll give the answer. So I'm going to have to just pause it as we're going through it. Hopefully the delays won't be too bad. So
you do get about 8 seconds to answer each question before he chimes in with an answer. So it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. Just got to find the file. Sorry about this, guys.
We talk amongst ourselves. Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that Gumball Rally a few years ago?
No, don't let me down internet.
Ferrari engine into the Volkswagen camper. It was amazing.
Oh, that would have been epic.
Wow.
There was I can't remember which car it was. It was like a really fast one, and they were going really quickly through Lithuania or Latvia, one of those countries, and this camper just absolutely bombed right past them. It was hilarious, and it was falling to pieces as well.
I've seen one on track. I think I saw a Trackday video where there was a camper van chasing down supercars somewhere. So there's a few of them out there that seem to be quite rife for modifiers. Okay, I have got the quiz here now. Have you guys all got pencil and paper, or pen and paper? Probably being adults.
I'm obviously not playing.
Yes,
I have a
if you
pencil.
didn't get 5 out of 5 on this, I have to say the questions, they're tricky again, aren't they? They are tricky.
No. Yeah, he doesn't
They're
do,
not
he
all
doesn't
about
do
F1.
easy. He doesn't do
No.
he has moved away from F1 for 2 questions. I should say that.
Neil, can you not just DM me the answers so I at least have a hope in heck of getting something?
What's it worth to you?
I'll be really nice to you.
Yeah, a lot of chocolate eggs in the post.
I have a bit of chocolate eggs. Does anybody care to raise chocolate eggs?
I'll get a massage when we all meet up. How's that?
We're not going to top that, are we?
She's dangling a carrot.
I'll take that.
I think that's the problem. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to share a screen now. I'm not sure if the sound will come out, so you guys are going to have to let me know if you don't actually hear the sound, because it would be a shame not to hear the lovely Irish accent of Ray. So, can you guys see the quiz in front of you now?
Yes.
Or just a black screen
Yeah,
at
I
least?
can see.
Yes. Black screen.
A black screen. Okay, I'm going to press play and there should be music immediately. So let me know if there isn't. Okay, I'm pressing play now.
No.
No music. Okay, this is something that we suspected might happen. So, Neil, I don't suppose you could try at your end. I don't suppose you've got the file there that you could perhaps show. If not, I'll have to put it onto another computer and show it from there.
I'm already trying to work out potential questions now I've seen that photo.
That isn't actually related to
That's
anything.
not one of the
that photo.
questions, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I was just trying to
Just a nice
work out
picture.
what it is as well.
I think is it TIFF inside it? I think it might
Yeah,
be.
it's
TIFF.
I think it is.
I was thinking,
my brain
thinking of
saying
all the potential answers. Andy Wallace,
BMW
Gordon
engine,
Murray.
Gordon Murray.
We have a
Just
chance of
counting
getting
facts.
Like
this.
240 miles per hour. I mean, I know that's Millbrook Proving Ground, I think.
It definitely is. DC, can you try and stop sharing, and I'll see if I can
I will
log mine
do
up.
that.
And okay,
Tension's incredible.
there we go.
No, I'm scared.
It'll fail work.
That's not working. Oop,
Can
hang
y'all
on
see
there.
yourselves in my glasses?
Just about.
Go.
Yep.
Not quite. Not quite.
My trouble is I've got on these ring lights on my laptop, so if I go like this, Ellie,
Whoa.
It's quite
I would spend
disturbing.
my whole time trying not to get the reflections in my glasses.
I thought that was the Mr-Ons then.
Okay, it's actually asking for a fingerprint confirmation that I'm allowed to do this, believe it or not.
It's a child's quiz. It's a bit much.
Now, here we go. Are people getting this?
I can
Yep.
see
Yeah.
yeah.
I can see it.
No music.
No music.
No music?
No music. No Flight of the Valkyries.
I feel like there's something you need to do on Zoom when you press share screen to allow it to share audio as well.
Yeah, hang on a minute. More.
There's more advanced sharing options, but none of those are about
Yeah.
audio.
Few options.
We should have possibly explored this before we tried doing it.
It's such a shame we can't show this because it's amazing.
Press play because there's a play button in the middle. Just press play.
Yeah, but we should hear music at that point.
I'm getting audio, but I'm guessing nobody else is.
No.
No.
Okay,
No.
hang on a minute.
Maybe.
Hang on a minute. If
it was somewhere convenient, I know that I've got the stuff on my computer to be able to suck audio from anything and pretend it's a microphone.
Oh, okay.
We're all so high tech.
But not quite high tech enough.
Oh.
Some of us are so high tech.
I've got an audio settings thing in the bottom left.
Hang on there.
Are the questions written down somewhere as like a backup?
Hang on, if I'm
What's he doing now? He's giving it a trial run. We can still see the screen.
Still no
No,
sound.
no.
I think there are questions written on it as well.
the questions do come up as text as well, but it's obviously much more satisfying if you can hear the jaunty music.
And Ray's
And
really
Ray.
enthusiastic.
And Ray.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hang on now.
There must be a way to do this.
I would have thought so, but maybe not. Bugger. That's not helping. Let's see.
So I just Googled it.
Oh yeah.
Select the screen you want to share and then select optimize for full screen video clip.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
I don't know if that will play sound, but that's my very quick Google.
Okay, wait a sec. Let me try that again then.
You should just get Ray in to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I think this might work. Did you all see me typing in? Okay.
Okay, fingers crossed. Yes.
Hello and welcome to the absolutely humongous motoring quiz. And question number one, everybody. What was the number on Alain Prost's 1993 Williams?
I'll pause it and give you all the next couple of seconds.
Did you all get the question?
Does everyone have an answer scribbled down?
Oh,
I've got a guess scribbled down.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, guys.
And the answer was 2!
Well done, Richard.
And question number 2, everybody. In what year did Denny Holm win the Formula One World Championship?
And I'll give you another couple of seconds.
What's
Everybody
Craig written
happy?
down? Craig, what you put?
No, not recurring. Here we go.
And the answer is 1967. Question number 3, everybody. What was Nigel Mansell's first ever team in his F1 career?
Okay, give you an extra couple of seconds just to write it down. And here we go.
And the answer is Lotus, Team Lotus.
Greg, please tell me you got that one.
And question number 4, a non-Formula 1 question.
Thank God.
Name this car.
Okay, we're going to give you an extra couple of seconds on that one.
Oh goodness.
Don't leave a blank answer. Always write something down.
Wait, stop it.
Lewis, you managed to get, you got that one, Lewis.
I might have.
Here we go. Here we go.
And the answer is the Mercedes SLR McLaren.
No, no joy.
What is generally accepted to be the first ever supercar?
Okay, give you an extra couple of seconds. It's a toughie one, actually, and
It's a
it
toughie,
is
yeah,
open to
I actually can't-
interpretation, I guess. But you know,
Really
ready? Here we go.
Trying to get you out of jail.
The answer? The Lamborghini Miura. And thanks everyone for
Sorry,
playing, or everyone who did play. And we'll see you next week. I hope you got some right. And thank you.
That was fantastic.
That was
Round of
awesome.
applause for Ray there. Come on.
hang on.
Hey.
The boy himself
That's
is here.
fantastic.
Wait a second. Put the headphones on. Come over here. Say hello to everyone.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey,
That was so much fun.
that's great, Craig. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you so
Hands
much.
up if you got at least one right. Because they were pretty hard.
I think they want easier questions for next week.
What?
Thanks, Will. All right. There we go, guys.
He's got a career ahead of him.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? He really does. He really does.
You can see why we were so keen to make sure we had the audio on that, because without it, it would you've missed out on so much. So, did anybody manage to get 5 out of 5 on that? Well, that last one was a real tricky one to kind of to get, but nobody
No,
got 5.
no 5.
Anyone got 4?
I got 4.
Hey.
Johnny.
Question 1 did me in.
Question 1. Okay, now who got 3?
3.
Hey.
LA, you just swearing at yourself.
Damn, it's like a damn buster. You know, you're allowed to say damn.
Oh, okay. 2. Who got 2?
Yes.
Yeah. And did anybody just get 1?
Oh,
Toby, it's okay. It's fine.
Sorry, Toby.
Fine. You got a flashy background. It's okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Look, you got your own
Wait.
logo flashing up behind
wait.
it, so that kind of thing. Did you miss that, Johnny? I don't suppose you saw the start of the yeah, that Toby's now got his background on. I don't suppose you saw the start of the Zoom call, did you, on YouTube or anything like that, Johnny?
No, I missed it. Unfortunately, I was trying to scoff some tomato soup. So sorry.
No worries. You missed a very jazzy video by Toby where he was launching his new brand and new logo, but it was rather cool. Okay, well, so are we likely to have more of that again next week, Neil?
If you require it, we can provide it.
Excellent.
I think we quite enjoyed that. Now we know the technicalities of how to actually hear Ray as he's doing it. I think that's going to be a winner for everybody. So nice to have non-F1 questions, even if one of them was basically SLR McLaren. So it's just halfway away from Formula 1.
Yeah, you noticed that, did you?
Yeah, we've kind of noticed that.
He's a big Gordon Murray fan, that boy.
Of course he is. He's 9 and he's already a Gordon Murray fan.
He's got good taste.
If he gets in quick enough, if he gets a letter off to Gordon Murray Design, who knows where we'll be working in 10 years' time.
No, he's got a proper job.
Yeah. Okay, it just leads me on then. After the Formula 1 quiz, hopefully some of you guys have had a chance to think about the poser or the tasks that I put out during the week. So it wasn't really a question of the week as such. It was more like a bit of a task. I don't know how much time, effort, or if any at all, you guys put into it, or if you indeed any of you actually saw the task. But what I asked was, if you were starting a car company and the brand was your surname, what would the logo look like? You can either describe it, or perhaps you've sketched it or done something a bit more impressive. And what kind of cars would you make? So I haven't really picked on Richard a lot today. So Shall we start with Richard if you managed to do yours?
It's here and ready. Yeah, I spent half an hour this afternoon doing it. I'm not quite sure how it would work on a car, and I wasn't sure it was surname either. I don't know if you can see that.
Nice.
Years ago, I had a blog that was called Good Richard. So it's Good Rich, which I know would have a problem with a tyre company, car company, and it would probably be electric, I don't know, classics or hatches, I guess.
Nice. I like the effort there. So what's the CC?
Car company. There's a thing right at the bottom.
Okay. Right, Goodrich Car Company. Wow. Is anyone else putting that kind of effort?
I've put a little bit more effort.
Oh, go on then, LA. Let's have a look. What have you got?
Pro chef.
Okay. Well,
She's built a car.
I missed a little bit about my surname. I'm so sorry, but I can always add a little bit to it. So being inspired by our group, my company is called Zoom. Yeah.
Hey.
And I'm starting off like McLaren with Formula One. So basically, and based on my aviation career as well, that's how I've been inspired too. So these are supersonic cars of the future, and this is how you overtake in Formula One. You know, you just put your wheels in like chitty bang bang,
yeah,
and then you fly over either a back marker or the guy you want to overtake. And there's like DRS zones, there's overtaking zones, so people just don't hit each other in the air, right? There's a lot of safety around this. I've put a lot of thought into this.
A lot of effort as well.
Well, I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you know, we're even going to go on to like tires. You see, we're going to like be racing in the snow and everything. It's going to be amazing. So there's that, and then of course, then it's going to translate into road vehicles. So you can either get yourself like a nice little sort of like, you know, like a McLaren, a real fancy one that's going to be on the road with proper tyres. And then if you fancy
Sky, don't you? Not the road.
Nipping over to Benidorm, you know, for a weekend to have your egg and chips, then that's fine, because you can just tuck your wheels in and take off. And then, you know, and this is like the family version basically. So there'll be zones on the motorway as well, like the HOV lanes. Have I said that right? Yeah, I think I have. And then so that, you know, you can overtake people in specific zones as well, so there's no crashing. But it's all supersonic, and it's all ruining the earth and the planet a little bit more. So sorry for all you electric people. But yeah, this is my company, and these are my cars, and this is the future.
You know, this isn't Dragon's Den. You're not going to now ask us for £250,000.
I think I need a bit more money than that for this.
I'm in.
Yeah, we can all chip together if we're going to make a 300-mile-an-hour Chevette. That's a story for another time, Johnny. There's some old Zoom. What's Neil got there? 20p. Oh, is that you chipping in? Is it?
Funding secured.
Yeah. Okay, Lewis. Then what have you come up with?
Well, I misinterpreted the name thing as well and took it as initials.
It's all right. It's all right.
So I did a very quick mock-up of a very ugly badge that would go on mine, which is might be mirrored from your point of view. So it's just
no, we can see it fine. Yeah, we can see it fine. Yeah.
And we're just going to build very simple, very light, very affordable cars that are sort of perfect runabouts, but quite good fun to drive as well.
Nice. And Craig, what are you going for?
So I didn't really put any thought into this at all. And I don't think my last name really works for a car company. I do have a sim racing team in the world of esports, which is totally ripped off of another real world racing team.
Nice.
We're not very successful. We would have won the championship on Dirt Rally, but I retired from most of the rounds, and we would have won a championship if we hadn't. But so I think if I had an actual car company, then we would build small cars, because, well, I'm not very big, so we don't need to build anything too large as such. It'd be nice and light as well. They have racing stripes as well, because that's an important factor.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff, and they'd be nice and cheap as well.
Nice. So nice, cheap, small cars for you.
Yeah.
Jonty, have you had a chance to have a look at this and decide what you might want to do?
Well, I went quite boring because I really like the logo that's already been.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Jonty's
created
Corner logo. It's not really working too well, but I think hopefully a lot of people sort of know it. Yeah, like the spare. Yeah.
Someone did for me on Twitter. I still really like that.
Oh, who did it for you?
A friend that I met through the live streams that we do on after the races with the F1 Word. He was just a fan who offered to do logo, and I'm like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, all right. Oh, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah,
Christopher.
Stick with it.
Yeah.
What is it? Me? Who's next?
Yeah, Chris. Yeah.
Well,
If you just literally sketched one down.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, basically, I saw the quote unquote homework, forgot about the homework, and then like any classic student was like, shit, last minute. But no. So I also forgot about the whole initials thing, but I did remember when I was in primary school. Me and a guy called Jack Slade, we you spend most of your time drawing cars anyway, and we came up with a name for a car company called Cleaver. I have no idea why that name, CLEEVER, right? Cleaver. That name just popped up in my head, and it'd be resto mod stuff. So 2 years ago, there was someone produced a van wall recreation called the DPR V12 with a Jaguar XJS engine, and which was released in 2003. It was a car ahead of its time before the rest of the mod scene got big. So the company would make stuff like that. It would make stuff akin to the light rocket car designed by Gordon Murray. And this is going to be quite hard to see, but this would be sort of the logo.
Fair enough. Yeah. Very nice. Not bad. So that you just come up with that now, or was that designed when your teenage days?
2 minutes.
Nice. Alan, you've gone dark there, but I think we'll probably be able to pick.
Sorry, my light is fading. It's rechargeable and it doesn't really last the hour and a smidge. So I went with I again. You don't want to see all that. Like everyone else, I went with something from school. So originally, it was the thing that whenever I was drawing cars, it was always Brad Design that was on it, and that sounded great. And that was the original logo. But all the kerning's awful, and there's a G in it and stuff. And people like Richard will be twitching like mad. So it ended up looking like that little sort of Maserati thing in the bottom corner. So that's how it always ended up looking. So that's what I would do. And for cars, I'm much better at drawing cars than drawing logos. So, but I would end up with, nobody's going to buy it anyway. So a small electric van thing, because I really like small electric.
It's an Avantar crossed with a Honda E.
That's a Yaris.
It is.
That's what I was thinking.
It's not a Yaris. Actually, halfway through drawing it, I thought I'm going to be told it looks like a Yaris. It probably explains a lot about my car choices, doesn't it?
It's like a Leaf and a Nissan Cube got together.
So what's that, Chris?
It's like a Nissan Leaf and one of those old Nissan Cube things got together in like a good way.
I'm slightly offended. At least none of you said Mitsubishi.
I said in a good way.
Got together in a normal people kind of way.
Yeah. Toby, I know you've just got a new logo. Was that the one that you're going to be using if you had a car company? Or
yeah, Purple Tasted pretty amazing.
He's got all the mod cons, hasn't he?
This is the one. This is the one. And we'd be making some pretty special prototype race cars. Would be the
headed to Le Mans one day. Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
Fair enough. Ben, what have you got for us?
Right. So my surname doesn't really lend itself to electric cars, well, to cars in general, but that would be my logo.
Ooh.
You can just make
I like that.
I like that.
That's nice.
It's like a proper thing.
So, and we specialise in large electric saloon cars only. No estates, no SUVs, nothing else. Just large luxury electric saloons with slightly ropey build quality, and I probably wouldn't be allowed to tweet anymore. Yeah, and I'd obviously tweet that my company's worth a load of money, then it wouldn't be all of a sudden and we'd go bankrupt. So it'd be about a week from start to finish, pretty much.
Yeah. Lovely. Ian, what have you got for us?
I'm just putting the final touches to it. So
would you want me to come back to you, or you're all right?
No, it's good because it's fine. I'm just doing the colour on it. This to be said best in like a Brummie accent because I'm from Birmingham, you say. So you need to speak like this. Lovely. Lovely, speak like that. The first prototype didn't go very well, so my name's Ian Cook, so my name is I Cook. So I'm going to go with the idea of food or nuts. So I cook cars as hot as your fast food.
Oh, very good.
And obviously, it's got the Italian flag because Italian cars are fast. So it doesn't mean I'm going to flog Italian cars. Just that's what we do in Birmingham. We kind of, nick the idea and plagiarize it, and there we are.
The iCook sounds like Apple's just brought out a microwave or something like that.
I was just thinking that you want to register that name just in case. Then you can sell it to Apple for millions.
A genuine story though is when me and my wife, so Taz's surname is Khan, and we want to double barrel the name when we got married. So I would have gone from I cook as in I can cook to I can't cook. So we didn't go for that in the end, but that's why it's Barnu Cook. So yeah, there we are. There's my little story.
Thank you very much. Jess, what have you got for us?
So I actually thought about this loads and then completely forgot about it. So the concept is here. Yeah, the concept is here, but just while we've been talking, so I thought it would be Jet, because I didn't get the surname thing either, and I think Shanahan might be a bit much for a car company. So I thought we'd go with Jet, and it would be, I have a lightning bolt like this, my first ever tattooed on my back, which is why it's obviously so rubbish. But yeah, it would be electric hot hatches, because what else? That's what the world needs. We don't have that. Then I also was like messing around with like a little white space style logo. I am by no means an artist or a designer, but I like a bit of white space. But yeah, like a nice heavy hot hatch with a low center of gravity, all the instant torque. That's what I want.
That's what you.
So I'm going to make it myself.
Yes, don't wait for other people. Just do a Lamborghini. Just decide, right, I might as well do it myself.
Yeah.
Neil.
Right. In common with all big car companies, I've subcontracted mine to the Ray Corporation because he's good at colouring. And this is it. It's Briscoe Motor Cars. That's the logo.
Oh, that's decent.
Yeah, and this will be our first car.
Whoa.
I don't quite know if you can see the specs there, but it's 850 horsepower?
820, I think.
820, weighs 1,100 kilograms, made of carbon fiber, has a twin turbo flat 12 and ground effect.
That is ready to go to the Geneva Motor Show. I think many other companies.
But he's got a better. If I can find it again, he's got a better one here, which I think will be our first Le Mans car.
I love your logo.
Which is this one.
Ooh. Nice.
I think that
was
inspiration
from the Matra.
I think that is a Matra drawing, actually. Yeah. I think it is. So there we go.
Well done, Ray. So yeah, the BMC
back again.
It's race cars. Jonny, did you have a chance to have a look at this for us? I know I kind of brought you in.
I did, and the first thing I did was tear up the brief because that's what I always do. I'm going with my first name because I always wanted my team to be called Jonny Racing, but now it's just the Jonny because it's not racing. So it's just Jonny. And there's nothing I love more than a good heel turn. So I'm going to make the most hateful car imaginable. It's going to be a hybrid compact crossover with about 195 litres of boot space and rear seats that don't fold down. And it's going to be about 35 grand. And you know what? I'm going to make loads of money.
Yeah, basically, if Vauxhall can do it with the whatever that is that they've got, then you can do it. So, so it would just be called the Jonny. People will just buy the Jonny.
No, it's going to be called the Pack because you're going to have a hard time putting things in it.
Right.
The Jonny Pack.
The Jonny Pack.
Yeah.
Right.
That just sounds wrong. The Jonny Pack.
No, that sounds fine.
You never met him before.
It's fine. It's catchy.
Have you customer clinic this yet?
Is that just me with a dirty mind?
God, I miss your podcast.
Oh yeah, what happened to the podcast, Jonny? Did you? I suppose you moved to Czech Republic, and the other guys went, "What the hell? What's going on?"
Yeah, I've got no microphone and no headphones over here, and I haven't had time to get any more. And Ben's had a baby, so it's just on the ice at the moment. But
okay,
it'll come back at some point, I think. But when, I don't know. It's giving me a long time to become more sensible, though, and I'm a bit concerned about that. Although that
won't
car
happen.
choice probably ruins that theory.
Yeah, no, I don't think that'll ever happen. Alan, did you guys have Jonny on as one of your review things?
Yeah, Jonny was the second on Andrew's review podcast. Jonny was the second guest.
Wow, he gets in early, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. Either that or Andrew was just trying to gather mugs whilst he could, but he was sandwiched in there between Nia Khan and Alex Goy.
So what came first, Motoring Podcast or Smooth Traffic?
Smooth Traffic by about a week.
Oh, really? That close?
Yeah, because you guys, I don't think I've ever told any of you that you guys released a week before, and we were like, oh no, we're trying to fill a gap where there's nothing. And it turns out that the Motoring Podcast news show and Smooth Traffic balance each other out on the seesaw quite nicely.
Yeah, you definitely went down different paths. At the end of it, I think
Little
Jonny
bit
was just talking about
different,
different cheeses in different service stations, and who knows, the toilets near Dover. I can't remember what the last things that they were on about.
We actually intentionally stopped there when we were doing Charging Around Britain. Sorry, everyone, interrupting. But when we were driving an electric car right around the mainland UK, we stopped at Folks and Services just so that we could say we'd stopped at Folks and Services because of Jonny's experience. I don't know, it's somewhere in the archives and the podcast land out there in Apple Podcasts somewhere. I'll send the link in the thing. Of Jonny and the toilets at Folks and Services. I just about crashed the car with laughter whenever I was listening. I just so many near misses because of you guys.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't heard of the two podcasts, obviously Alan and we had Andrew on last week do the Motoring Podcast, and then the Smooth Traffic one that Jonny was involved in with two of his just mates from school was completely, from my point of view, the different side of the kind of Motoring Podcast. And like Alan said, they balance each other really well. Although Jonny and the guys would occasionally talk about new car sales and how many of something had been sold, it was more about silly things. There was like the boot space thing where what was more deadly?
Oh god,
deadly boot spaces.
Deadly boot spaces.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. I love that. I love doing that. That was so much fun.
Yeah, because you basically just stitched up the other two people as much as you could. And,
I like to be antagonistic as much as possible on Smooth Traffic. I like to be the one who winds everybody else up.
Give it a go. If you haven't ever heard of Jonny's idea for travelling through time by burping or farting.
Farting time travel. Yeah, it's my movie script. Yeah, time staying.
Time staying.
And I've got the name
give Smooth Traffic a go because it needs to come back at some point. I know, Jonny, you haven't got a microphone or anything. We can't trust the other two on their own because it needs a Jonny in it as well. So hopefully one day that will come back, and then you can then take the fight back to the Motoring Podcast. He's got it all too easy at the moment.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
At the minute, everybody and their granny starting podcasts.
You've got the momentum. You're all right.
We do, yeah. We've got 300 odd in the bag.
So I think we've gone over the hour, of course, as we always do. But if anyone has got anything else they'd like to say, if you'd like to let us know, any sort of announcements or anything like that, anything coming up in the coming week. I know obviously Ian's got more of the same with the continuous cars. Toby's basically announced everything pretty much already. Chris, what have you got?
This is something it's sort of a semi announcement because I don't want to give too much away, but I am working on a documentary project at the moment.
We're all in it.
What?
We're all in it, yeah. We're all going to be guest stars. We're all going to do cameos. We pretend to be at a bar and talking to each other.
It's a very specific era, but I've already got a production company and 3 racing drivers on board.
Oh wow! Okay, sounds really good. When are you likely to be able to get that out to the public?
Not for a while, because the racing drivers and production company came on board about 3 weeks before the COVID lockdown.
Okay.
And yeah, so we're sort of like, then it went quiet for a while, and I got a message from him saying, by the way, I know you haven't heard anything from me, but just so you know, this friend of mine who works for another production company is also still very interested in it. We're still going to do it. We just wanted to reassure you that, it's still going to happen.
So you doing more of that in the coming week, or is that just on the horizon at some point then?
That's on the horizon at some point. So what will happen is, I'll probably, it's an after work project I'm working on, and I'm doing the script, doing bits of the script at the weekends. It's the important thing is that it will happen just at some point. It's a topic which hasn't really been touched on. It's a topic which I've done a lot of work on in the past 2 years. And the way it looks and my vision of it, I think it's a topic which will get a lot of people talking. I hope that when it comes out, in my dreams, it would be a Netflix. It would come out on Netflix, but that's who we would like. That's who I'd like us to sort of pitch it to. And my hope would be that you would watch it and go, how do I not know this? And hopefully it will change your perspective on a certain areas of motorsport. But
okay, so you're keeping your cards fairly close to your chest. So you're not going to give any hints about what it's about. We're going to have to wait and see.
No. So all I'll say is that someone in the ZoomZoomers group is on board with it and is part of it.
Interesting. Right.
So someone of the ZoomZoomers is working with me on it.
Okay. Wow. Good luck with all that. I can't wait to see what the results are. I suppose if there's nothing else to say for now, we're all hopefully going to be coming back next week. Jonny, while you're here, we might as well just quickly ask you, how do we all say goodbye in Czech?
Nashledanou.
No, we're just going to say goodbye. What was it again?
Nashledanou.
No. Okay, everybody, thanks ever so much for that. If you're still watching on the YouTube, as always, I'll add a few links to the key parts of that if you want to skip straight to the Trackday own scrap, the 5-question quiz from Ray, Jonty's mystery object. So we'll put some comments on there so you can jump straight to those things. But for now, everybody, I want to say thank you to everyone that came along. I'm sorry that I couldn't basically chat. I mean, the time goes so fast. Couldn't chat to all of you as much as I'd have liked to, but there's going to be hopefully chance again next week. I'd like to see as many of you back as possible. But until then, thank you for coming, and national whatever.
National.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Take care.